students, I'll be taking in this lecture molecular basis of neoplasia. In this lecture I'll be continuing in two parts, and we will also discuss about the pathways of metastasis and mechanism of metastasis in this lecture. So before we begin to molecular basis of neoplasia, we just briefly discuss what are different cell types. Normal cell type. So we know that there are three types of cell in our body: labile cell, stable cell, and permanent cell. Now what are labile tissue? Labile tissue are those which are continuously dividing. Say for example, epidermal cell of skin, GI mucosal cell, bone marrow cells. So they are continuously replacing the dead cell. So they are continuously dividing cell. Second type is stable cell. Stable cells are those which upon stimuli they can divide, but later they come back to quiescent phase. So whenever there is a need, it can proliferate or divide. Later it return back to quiescent phase. All the parenchymal organs are this type of tissues, stable tissues. Non-dividing tissue, mainly cardiac cell and neuronal cell. These are permanent cell or non-dividing cells. So they cannot divide in somatic life. Now this is a normal cell cycle. It shows G0, G1 as G2M. Now G0 is a quiescent phase. Upon priming on exposure to cytokine, it enters the cell cycle where it begins with the G1. Upon stimuli, growth factors, it progresses to as G2 and then M. G1 is presynthetic phase, S is synthetic phase, G2 is pre-mitotic phase, and M is mitotic phase. At the stage of M, when mitosis takes place, cell will divide into two. So this is how we correlate these three types of cell with cell cycle. As it is shown, continuously dividing cell means labile cell, they remain continuously in the cell cycle, that is G1 as G2M. Quiescent or stable cell, they are in the G0 phase, but when the need arises or whenever there is a stimuli, it will enter the cell cycle in the G1 phase, then will remain in the cell cycle and will be removed out of the cell cycle when the need is over. And the permanent cell, which are out of the cell cycle permanently, they cannot enter the cell cycle. So which are the steps of cell division? Now we will see. Upon stimuli may be a growth factor. Say for example, growth factor will bind with the surface receptor that is on the cell surface. It will internalize the signals by signal transducing protein activation, will activate the cytosolic intermediary pathway. It will send the signal through this to the nucleus. Nuclear transcriptional factors get activated and ultimately DNA replication take place and mitosis or cell division will take place. So this is a structure showing growth factor which bind with the growth factor receptor that will activate some signal transducing proteins. Then it sends signals through cytosolic intermediary pathway to the nucleus for cell division. Now we start with the molecular basis. It says non-lethal genetic damage is the main cause of carcinogenesis. Now we know genetic damage means genetic alteration. Any alteration in normal genetic sequence, that is called mutation, that is the main cause of carcinogenesis. But it should be non-lethal, means cell must survive. So hence then only mutation will pass on the progeny cell. So this is the basis of carcinogenesis. Now which are the target genes? These are the 4 target genes which are the target of mutation. So mutation either in proto-onco genes, tumor suppressor genes, apoptosis regulating genes, or DNA repair genes. Any of these target genes, if they are mutated, it may lead the normal cell into the transformed neoplastic cell. Now, what are proto-oncogenes? Proto-oncogenes are normal genes of growth and differentiation. Tumor suppressor genes are normal genes which inhibit the cell proliferation. So, normally it suppresses the tumor formation. Apoptosis regulating genes are those genes that regulate the apoptosis, means program cell death. And DNA repair genes are those genes which are required for the normal repair of damaged DNA. So, in normal cell, any of the gene if that gets mutated, these mutation, which is a primary mutation or initiating mutation, or we can say it is a driver mutation, because of this mutation, this forms the initiated precursor cell. The process of carcinogenesis will start with this primary or initiating mutation. Now, this cell is having some stem cell like properties that we will see later. What are these stem cell like property, because of which the cell has limitless replicative capacity as well as self-renewal capacity. So, cell can proliferate for a limitless time and can self-renew autonomously, and hence there are multiple additional mutation it can acquire. These additional mutations are called additional driver mutation, or it can be a passenger mutation. Passenger mutation are those which do not have any phenotypical consequences. But because of gathering of these additional mutation, because of continuous cell division, there are different subclones of these cells will gather. So now the mass is formed by genetically different subclones, which is a heterogeneous mass, and these different cells have because of different mutation, these cells have different properties which are required for the malignancy. Say for example, some cells will have properties of invasion, metastasis, escape from immunity, or angiogenesis. So now the tumor mass is having genetically heterogeneous cells, and that is a full-fledged malignant tumor. This is how multi-step theory of carcinogenesis is about. Now coming to our target genes. Now how does the normal cell, if they are damaged or mutated by the carcinogen, will ultimately form the malignant neoplasm? Now this flow chart explains how it occurs. Now the normal cell, if it is exposed to environmental carcinogens, there are so many carcinogens that we will discuss in carcinogenesis, but because of the exposure to carcinogen, the primary target being DNA, so it damages the DNA. So once the DNA gets damaged, normal repair function of the DNA repair genes gets activated, and that will normalize this DNA if it is damaged. But what happens if the person is inherited with the defective DNA repair genes, where they cannot repair this DNA, damaged DNA, or the capacity of DNA repair genes is overwhelmed or exhausted if there is a continuous exposure to carcinogens? In any case, if this damage that remains permanent, if it is not repaired, then it remains permanent, then it will be carry forwarded. Now depending on which target gene it is involving, this damage is involving, that the role is different. Now if suppose this damage or mutation lies in the first target gene, that is proto-oncogenes. We had seen that proto-oncogenes are the normal genes of our growth and differentiation. Okay, so they normally increases the cell proliferation, but that is under control mechanism. So normally they increase the cell proliferation, but if they are mutated, they remains continuously in the active phase, so they will enhances the cell proliferation. So in the other way, it is called a gain of function mutation. So if the proto-oncogenes are mutated, there will be a gain of function. That means they will increases the cell proliferation further. Okay, So that is our first target gene. The second target gene is tumor suppressor gene. So if the mutation lies in the tumor suppressor gene, the normal function of tumor suppressor gene is to inhibit the cell cycle or cell division. Okay, so they will keep the check on the cell cycle. So it will prevent the cell division or it will prevent the cell proliferation. But what happens if this target gene is mutated? So if it is mutated, this check or control is removed and it will allow the cell to undergo more and more cell division. So now it cannot inhibit the cell division and hence there is a increased cell proliferation. So here what happens? There is a loss of function mutation. So if the tumor suppressor genes are involved, it is called loss of function mutation. Now the result is same. In both the case, in both the target genes, the result is same. Ultimately what is happening? There is more and more continuous cell division of the cell which has incurred that abnormal genetic alteration. So the clonal expansion of these abnormal cell take place. The third target gene is apoptosis regulating gene. What happens if the cell is damaged? Normally it undergoes apoptosis. Okay, so that is balanced by apoptosis regulating genes. But if it resists the apoptotic cell death, then this mutation remains permanent and again it will increases the cell proliferation of this mutated or abnormal cell. So ultimately there will be a clonal expansion of abnormal cell and then there will be a additional accumulation of additional mutation, driver mutation, and will acquire the cell continuously will acquire different properties because of this different driver mutation like angiogenesis, escape from immunity, invasion, metastasis. All these will ultimately lead to all properties of malignancy. So this is how normal cell end up with the full-fledged malignant tumor. So these are the essential alteration of malignant transformation. So we'll see one by one. The first four that I'll be discussing in this first part and last five that we'll be discussing in the second part. So first 4 point that is same as the target genes. Self-sufficiency in growth signal means the role of proto-oncogene. Insensitivity to growth inhibitory signals, that is the role of tumor suppressor gene. Evasion of cell death or apoptosis, that is apoptosis regulating gene. And the fourth is defective DNA repair, that is the role of DNA repair gene. So first 4 point that says about all four target genes. So first is self-sufficiency in growth signals. So here comes the role of proto-oncogenes. Now proto-oncogenes are the normal genes which are required for the growth and differentiation, but if they are mutated then it is called oncogenes. So oncogenes are abnormal genes. Now these mutation can be different types. The level of involvement of oncogene, it can be growth factor receptor, signal transducing protein, cytosolic intermediary pathway, cell cycle regulator, or nuclear transcriptional regulators. So these are different levels of involvement of oncogenes. So if the genes that codes for the growth factor are abnormal, then what will happen? Examples are PDGF, FGF, TGF. So these are certain growth factors. If the genes that codes for the growth factor are abnormal or mutated, it will be overexpressed. So more growth factors will be produced and increase in the cell proliferation if it is mutated. The second level is growth factor receptors. Normally growth factor binds to the receptor, then only growth factor receptors gets activated. But if it is a mutated, then it doesn't require growth factor to bind. It is remains in the active phase if it is a mutated. So it will send continuous signal to the nucleus. So this is how abnormal or mutated growth factor receptors behave. The most common type of growth factor receptor abnormality is receptor tyrosine kinase type. This table is showing different growth factors gene and growth factor receptor genes, the type of mutation that involves these genes, and the associated or related tumors, human tumors. So PDGF, FGF, TGF, these are the growth factors. Growth factor receptors in which the common EGF are, in which it is relative to adenocarcinoma of lung, as well as HER2, that is related with the breast carcinoma. The third type of level of involvement is signal transducing protein, and most common example is RAS protein. Now here this figure shows that RAS or signal transducing protein that lies at the inner leaflet of the cell membrane. So when the growth factor binds with the receptor, then only it gets activated, and active protein that send the signal to the nucleus for replication, DNA replication. But when the need is over, these active RAS will be inactivated. But what happens when it is abnormal? What happens when it is a mutated gene? So these mutated RAS that remains continuously in active phase. So it will send continuous signal for the replication. So that is why it increases the cell proliferation. Now this RAS is very common in many tumors. So it is one of the common abnormality mutation. So these are examples of RAS family, their mutation and related tumors. Now one of these signal transducing protein that is mutation is found in CML, chronic myeloid leukemia, that is BCR-ABL translocation of 922. So abnormally shortened chromosome 22, which shows BCR-ABL translocation, that is found in chronic myeloid leukemia. This is also example of signal transducing protein. Then the another level is nuclear regulatory protein. Now nuclear regulatory protein as well as cell cycle regulator. In nuclear regulatory protein, MYC gene and related to Burkitt's lymphoma, and cell cycle regulator in which cyclin and cyclin dependent kinase are involved. So their mutation is also found in certain types of lymphoma and other tumors. So these are the level of involvement: growth factor receptors, signal transducing protein, cell cycle regulator, and nuclear regulator. Now, so these were the level in oncoproteins. So these are all oncogenes. Okay. Now, the second point or second target gene, that is insensitivity to growth inhibitory signals. Here comes the role of tumor suppressor genes. Now, oncogenes are autosomal dominant type, while tumor suppressor genes are autosomal recessive type. So both the copies of alleles must be defective to express abnormality. So normally these are the negative regulators of cell proliferation. So it keeps check on the cell division. So once if it is abnormal or mutated, then this control or check is removed, and more it leads to more and more cell proliferation that we know, we had already discussed. The most common example of tumor suppressor genes are first RB gene or second P53. So we just briefly discuss what is the function of RB gene and P53. Normally RB gene in active phase that keeps a check in G1 to S transition. We know the cell cycle G1S, G2M. So on G1S transition, it keeps control if it is active or normal. When it is inactive or hyperphosphorylated, then these break, G1S break will be removed. So if RB gene is abnormal or mutated, then this break will be removed and cell will continuously progress for the G1S, G2M. So this is what happening if mutated RB gene is present. This picture is showing G1 to S transition, and abnormal RB gene will lead, the break is removed and the cell progresses to further. The second tumor suppressor gene, which is the most common type, P53. Now P53 located on the chromosome 17, it is also known as molecular policeman or guardian of the genome. Now why it is known as? Because it perform a very important function that we will understand by this picture. Now in this diagram, on the left side, the normal function of P53 is explained. On the right side, if the P53 is abnormal or mutated. So we can see here, if the P53 is normally functioning, what will happen? Whenever there is a cell DNA damage, P53 gets activated. It will also activate cell cycle regulator so that it cause cell cycle arrest. Simultaneously, it also activates DNA repair proteins. So here what happens? The DNA repair proteins, they get some time for the repair of damaged DNA. Okay, so if either the DNA damage will be repaired and cell will revert back to normal. But what happens if this repair damage is not going to repair? Then it also activates the apoptosis pro-apoptotic factors and will causes the cell death of these abnormal cell. Okay, so programmed cell death will also take place of these damaged cell. So it doesn't allow any mutation to go further. That's why it is called the molecular policeman. Now what will happen if it is abnormal or mutated? It cannot perform any of these functions. No cell cycle arrest, no DNA repair activation, no apoptosis of the abnormal cell. So these mutation will remain permanent and will be carried forwarded to their progeny, and these will form a clonal expansion of the abnormal cell, meaning neoplasm. This is another example of WNT APC. These are different tumor suppressor genes. This is also a list of tumor suppressor genes, their related syndromes and associated tumors. This is given in your textbook. All the tumor suppressor genes are given in this table. Now the third target genes is evasion of apoptosis regulating genes. So this is the third point of essential alteration. Now role of apoptosis regulating gene is to the cell survival. Cell survival is conditioned by these genes, pro-apoptotic and anti-apoptotic. Neoplastic cells may accumulate if there is a mutation that regulates this apoptosis, as many tumor cells frequently contains a mutation in genes that result in resistance to apoptotic cell death. These are two different types of proteins, pro-apoptotic and some are anti-apoptotic. Normally there is a balance between these two genes, but if the pro-apoptotic factors, the BCL2 is overexpressed when it is abnormal or mutated, which is overexpressed in many of the follicular B type of lymphoma, then what will happen? It resists the apoptotic cell death. So this will lead to clonal expansion of tumor cells. The fourth category is DNA repair genes. Now we know that humans literally swim in a sea of environmental carcinogens. So may it be a dietary carcinogens, sunlight, food, water, metabolic products, whatever. So our DNA is the primary target. So DNA damage takes place, DNA repair proteins gets activated and will repair those damage. Now what will happen if the person is inherited with the defective DNA repair genes? So that is called genomic instability syndrome. Now these defects can be of three types: mismatch repair genes, nucleotide excision repair genes, or recombination repair genes. Now one of the example is hereditary non-polyposis cancer syndrome, in which abnormality lies in mismatch repair genes. So this is one of the example in which the patient is prone for CA colon. Second is nucleotide excision repair pathway. If these genes are defective, then person is more prone for developing skin malignancy on exposure to UV light. The third category is the recombinant pathway, in which Bloom syndrome, Fanconi's anemia, ataxia, telangiectasia. These are the syndrome which are related with this pathway, defective recombinant DNA repair pathway. So these were the 4 essential alteration and 4 target genes of molecular carcinogenesis. Now we will continue another 5 points in the second part. Thank you.